Before we get started, I wanted to say that I am setting up two rules here. That is, for a character to count as a character who exists in the MCU we have yet to see, I won't be including characters who are teased for upcoming movies, who've yet to appear. Therefore, no Adam Warlock who will appear in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, who is teased in Volume 2, or Kang, who will appear in Ant-Man the Wasp 3 and Avengers the Kang Dynasty, who is teased in Loki. Also, not including characters who only briefly appeared, as well, yes, they were brief, they did actually appear. So no Living Tribunal, who appeared in one frame in Multiverse of Madness, the OG Guardians, who appeared in a post-credit scene, or Jim Hammond's Human Torch, who only appeared in a cameo in the first Captain America movie. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Man-Thing was name-dropped in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Murray Hill as one of the superhumans who escaped the fridge, and we later see a statue of him in Thor Ragnarok on Sakaar. Well, yes, there's rumors he might appear in the Werewolf by Night special that's coming out this Halloween. There's yet to be any confirmation, so I'm counting him on this list. Dragon, while Heather Douglas is never mentioned, Kamara is her placeholder and was actually Moondragon on the Guardians of the Galaxy TV show that airs on Disney XD. And is a character that's mentioned by Drax as his daughter. While yes, she's said to be dead, in the comics she's presumed dead, only to be discovered to be alive and she kills her own dad. But the latter part of that whole story probably won't happen, but I love Moondragon from the comics, so I hope she appears soon. Maybe the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie, maybe not, but I hope she does. Ray Bill is another character who I absolutely love, and also appeared as a statue on Sakaar. And while Stormbreaker in the comics is his, well, not necessarily hammer, but you know what I mean. In the MCU, it's now being used by Gore's daughter, which I have problems with because I wasn't a big fan of that plot line, and I'm kind of upset that she's taking Beta Ray Bill's place. But maybe she'll die and Beta Ray Bill will take her place. Okay, that's a bit cruel, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just really like Beta Ray Bill, and I hope to see him at least some sort of form in the MCU. Beast, the character who I had no idea who that was until I, decided to make this video, also appeared as a statue on Sakaar, a character who's really just a one-note Hulk villain with two heads. There's not really much to say about him, so I personally don't care if he appears or not. Death, or Lady Chaos as she was called on the Silver Surfer show because of censorship reasons, because don't you dare say Death, but Lady Chaos as A-OK. Death is the mistress of Thanos, who was briefly shown as a carving in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which isn't an actual appearance, so I'm including her on this list. She also was name-dropped in the first Avengers, but she never appeared in the MCU, despite her character's importance to Thanos' character in the comics. And seeing the fact that Thanos is, dead, I don't think there's really any place for Death to be in the MCU now. Morgan Stark. While Morgan Stark is Tony's daughter, was mentioned that they named her after his uncle, who's a comic book character, who's kind of a crackpot uncle who I think we all have an uncle like that. I certainly do. While Morgan Stark, his daughter, does appear, Morgan Stark, the character from the comics, who's a guy, and his uncle has yet to appear. And I highly doubt he ever will, but stranger things have happened. Sunspot is probably the most surprising entry on this list, since he's actually a mutant and Disney could have been sued for this potentially, as their deal had yet to finish with Fox. But Sunspot name can be seen on the plaques of those who vanished, and since Thanos brought all those people, Iron Man brought all those people back, it could be safe to say that Sunspot probably also came back. Although it's unclear if he's a mutant, because Kamala Khan's a mutant, but it doesn't seem like mutants were actually born with their powers, their powers need to be activated. Either way, I'm surprised that he was the first mutant to be name-dropped, well, besides Falcon, Wanda, and Quicksilver. But still, Jocasta, while in the comics she's made by Ultron, in the MCU we see a disc with her name on it, confirming she does exist, but as a robotic AI rather than a robot from the comics. Ares, another statue on Sakaar. While many fans love Marvel's Ares and had a very big role in the Dark Reign storyline, I honestly don't like him that much, but that's just me. Do you like Ares? Because maybe I'm just the 1% who doesn't. Owl. This is the first character from a TV show to be mentioned and not in the movies. While we saw Owl's dad in Daredevil, who was killed by Kingpin, R.I.P., Owl himself was only ever mentioned by the showrunners, not even on the show. But we know he exists in the show's continuity and was the son of the character that donned the name of the Owl in the first season. But that's not Owl, apparently. Does that make sense? I was a bit confused when I was reading that, I'll be honest. And we know nothing about this guy. All we know is that he was meant to be in Daredevil Season 4 if there was a Season 4, but there wasn't, so we know absolutely nothing about the Owl. White Tiger, or aka Angela Di Toro, as I want to be specific because there's multiple White Tigers in the comics, It was name dropped in episode Jessica Jones by Jessica Jones herself as a private detective. Last but not least is Griffin. Despite his daughter being a main character on Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., that being Slingshot, aka Yo-Yo, Griffin will be mentioned as having been in the fridge along with being later on Yo-Yo's dad. But we never saw the guy, which I found really odd. Maybe Marvel wouldn't let them use him like how they wanted to use MODOK, but Marvel told them no. Could be potentially something like that, because he's really not that popular of a character, so I don't see why they would be saving him for the movies, and why would they be constantly mentioning him on the show while they have a main character who is related to him. But that's my take on this. What do you think of this list? Do you like any of these characters? Do you want to see them in the MCU, or do you not care? Personally, there's certainly some characters here I really want to see, like Beta Ray Bill, Moondragon, Sunspot, etc. But there's some I don't care, like Bi Beast, Ares, Owl, Death. But that's my opinion. Like always, please like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye.